So one of my favorite Hebrew scriptures is always Micah 6 and 8. It says, what does the Lord require of you but to do justice, love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God? It's the idea that justice is not assumed. You must actually do something in order to create justice. And so what we're doing today is ways for you to do justice and not assume that we will get it. One easy and simple way is to start with what we talked about today is contacting your members of Congress. Your House Representative, your U.S. Senator. We know them. Make sure that staff knows who you are. And if they don't know, you remind them about keep on calling over and over and over again, all right? If y'all retired, that means you got unlimited phone calls to make. All right? You got unlimited phone calls to make, all right? You can do that in between playing bridge, all right? Secondly, contact your state legislatures. State legislators are important because they help shape policy for the state. What is not left to the federal government to do, the state legislators have power to be able to do, and they have the influence and they need the support of those in our community to let them know that they have your support, and when they find roadblocks, it's our job to make sure that they find support in this community to both heal and to continue to fight. I want to contact our mayors and our local officials, make sure that they are in lockstep with us as well, because, you know, as Dr. Karen said, sometimes the pain is so deep that it only is healed on a local level. So what are the initiatives that are going to make sure our communities are safe? What are the initiatives to make sure that we're knowing and getting together and that we're bridging those gaps that sometimes pulls us so far apart? It's very important. Not only do we need to be missing our children, but it's also a reminder that the stuff that pulls us apart can have very catastrophic things happen. And I think Buffalo has been a reminder of that. And what it is a reminder for me is that I always thought that the racism and the evil would be stopped at a certain level. But what it has shown is that it has found a way to still survive in a younger generation. So our work is not done and is nowhere near completed. You can also support steps like universal background checks. I think that is some low-hanging fruit that we all have agreed on, right? Right? Come on. Honestly, we have some federal protections in that we are required to do a conduct of background checks on all firearms, or private sellers are not. So we really want to expand that to make sure everyone is participating in that. And then the extreme risk protection orders, which we also call red flag laws, which are making sure that we give families and law enforcement officials a way to ask a judge to temporarily prohibit an at-risk person from possessing a gun. The ERPO is not a non-criminal process that involves a court hearing as well as a clearly defined due process protection at the same time. But evidence shows that ERPOs, like laws, have reduced firearm suicide rates by 14% in Connecticut and 7.5% in Indiana. And recent polling shows that a vast majority of Wisconsinites really do support these laws, close to 81%. And then lastly, support programs like the garden program, turning gardens, guns into garden tools, or buyback programs. And this is the reason why. The reason why I say that as a judge, one of the reasons and one of the things that we see in terms of gun violence is the number of people who have guns left in their cars that end up that unlocked, that kids get into or people get into, and they use those stolen guns in all kinds of activities in our communities. So if we really do want to decrease gun violence, we really have to decrease the number of guns circulating in our community. And this is a way for us to be proactive and get it done and get them off the streets, donate them. You don't need them muskets and all them other guns in the first place. And that is a way for us to do that. So do you feel like you can do some justice? Yes. I bet. Do you feel like you can do some justice? Yes. Pastor, do you feel like you can hold your congregations accountable to do justice? Yes. That's my brothers and sisters in faith. That's what I'm talking about. Come on up so we can have our final words of prayer and consolation tonight.